All right, let's get into this, shall we? Greetings and salutations, everyone. My name is Andrew Kirchhoff, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today, we are live streaming here. I would suppose this is impromptu. I don't know. Every now and then, I'm just going to, post a live stream, and I'll show up, and I'll just talk about fantasy football in relation to whatever the heck is happening at that current moment in time. Either way, that is one of those circumstances as we're here today on this beautiful Tuesday night, talking fantasy football. For those of you who, of course, are here. For majority of today, I will be drafting playoff fantasy teams. Again, Underdog Fantasy has a couple contests that are active right now. For those of you who don't play with your respective league mates from your regular season and want to go ahead and play some best ball fantasy playoff leagues, I'll be going ahead and participating in such drafts. You can go ahead and check that out at Underdog Fantasy. There's a link in the description. And, of course, use promo code Andrew if you sign up today to get a $100 deposit match, up to $100 deposit match for those of you who are interested. All right, either way, I'm going to go ahead, look through the chat, see if there's any questions in regards to Wild Card Weekend. Very interesting turn of events. I mean, from seasons past, the underdogs continued to go ahead and find themselves a lot of success in the NFL playoffs. But this year, it seemed like, every favorite, pretty much almost every home team except for the Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys faithful, It is unfortunate, but it seemed like every team that was supposed to win won, and they went ahead and did so with some I wouldn't say dramatic fashion. I think they just beat the crap out of teams. Every game was kind of relatively boring. Obviously, the first game of the week, the Raiders taking on the Bengals, was a little bit exciting, but we all knew at the end of that game that the Bengals were probably going to close it out because ultimately they came out, they looked strong. Unfortunately, going into the second round, they're going to be missing a couple defensive linemen. Which, for Derrick Henry, that is incredible news. But either way, I'm going to answer some questions, see what you guys have in mind here, and then we'll go ahead and hop into some drafts to see what you guys, kind of give you guys my perspective as to how I'm going to approach it. There's a couple strategies of going about it, but ultimately, we'll see how it kind of transpires here. Just kind of doing this off of a whim. Let's see here. Michael Amato in the chat was saying, thinks the Bengals can make the AFC Championship game. It's going to be a tough test right there. I know Derrick Henry earlier today was cleared for contact to practice. He's at a full go. That offensive line is healthy with Saffold as the left guard, Lewan at the left tackle position. They're looking like they're going to make a run at it here. It's going to be tough to stop the Tennessee Titans offense. Sure, as long as Joe Burrow can come out and, like you were saying, throw 300 yards and 3 touchdowns, they'll be a competitive enough team to stay in the contest. It's just a matter of which defense is going to step up at that point. Rick says Bengals are Super Bowl bound. Wow, how about that, huh? Let's see. What's a playoff draft? Okay, so just to give you some context there, Miguel. So typically, just like the regular season of fantasy football, you can go ahead and draft a bunch of players in a respective league, and the only difference between the NFL playoff draft and a regular season draft is that in the NFL playoff draft, when teams get eliminated, they're done. So the entire strategy often is built behind the idea of trying to draft players that you think are going to make it to the Super Bowl, and they're going to find you as much success as possible, right? So that's kind of the entire idea behind it. Otherwise, it's the same idea. Half PPR, we're trying to build the best teams, and we're trying to have the highest scoring possible rosters that we could put together. Let's see here. On lead guitar, no. The actual artist that plays the intro song, I know the song's name is Double Helix. I forget the actual artist's name. That's on me, but it's definitely, I don't know if it's the name that you mentioned there, Michael. Go Rams. Yeah, listen, the Rams, they pulled out a good win the other day. Absolutely. We'll take that any day of the week, especially considering Kyler Murray was an absolute mess in that first half. But, Sean McVay, he makes his mistakes. He obviously in the first half should have put up at least another touchdown there, but they played it safe. They played it soft. It is what it is. That's what, Sean McVay does. Nathan Gutierrez says Niners and Rams in the championship. Andrew, I doubt that. I highly doubt that. Based on even the way that the Rams played yesterday, I still think that Tampa Bay has a really good chance, regardless of the fact that they're missing so many players, to still beat us. But I'm hoping the Rams can at least get to the NFC Championship game for Matthew Stafford's sake. at least, get that underneath his belt, get him some more experience, and continue to build his career and his legacy. What are the draft orders for 22? Says Jeremy Silver. That's a great question. I mean, at this moment, I'll go ahead and bluntly tell you, I'm not even going to begin 2022 prep for probably another week or so. I'm still, recovering from the onslaught of going 5 months straight of a video every day from the 2021 season. So I'll get into 2022, drafts and all that kind of stuff, in the near future, but currently not right now. I mean, obviously, Jonathan Taylor is probably number one. Cooper Kupp's in that top 3 conversation, considering in a half PPR, Cooper Kupp was the highest scoring player with 367 total points. Obviously, 17 weeks certainly helped his case, but either way. Packers and Chiefs. I mean, yeah, that's probably the crowd favorite, I think. I think based on the success that the Chiefs have found over the last 4 seasons under Patrick Mahomes, and then, Green Bay looking like they're the best team, finally being fully healthy at this point. They're on track, of course. Earlier today, Aaron Jones, full participant at practice. That's a great sign considering he was dealing with that MCL knee injury for the last couple weeks now. Obviously, 2 weeks of consecutive rest is going to play a big difference in his preparedness and his ability to go full speed against the 49ers, which is a pretty good game this week. Brady's older than all the NFC head coaches. That's a crazy stat right there, huh? Brayson says, first year of fantasy football ever, and you helped me get to 4th place. Had a decent year, rough playoffs till next year. Thanks, man. No problem, Bryson. Let's see here. Will Henry be back? I mean, that's the anticipation. He was a full participant in practice today, and he's clear for contact, so he's going to be there, and it's going to be tough to stop him. I can assure you that. Earlier this season, prior to his injury, the guy was averaging 29 touches per game. So he's probably going to get back to doing that. If you guys remember Derrick Henry 2019 playoff run, I mean, the guy was getting the ball 30-plus times a game. Derrick Henry in the playoffs is a different machine. They rely upon the running game that much more, especially when you're trying to go ahead, dominate time of possession, all of that nature, and beat a team like the Bengals. The only way to beat the Bengals is to make sure Joe Burrow is not on the field and continue to, get those drives going, kill clock, and keep it moving. What's good, Andrew? Thanks for all that you did throughout the season, man. Your videos helped a lot. Yeah, no problem. I'm glad I could help in any way possible. 49ers can't overcome Rodgers in the frozen tundra. I agree. I mean, I expect the Green Bay Packers to win it all. That's what was my preseason anticipation and continues to be the case. But anyway, okay. So now that we've kind of talked a little bit, guys, answered some questions, I'm just going to go ahead and hop into some drafts via Underdog Fantasy. Again, for those of you who are interested in participating in your own drafts via Underdog Fantasy, there's a link down in the description of the video to their website. If you sign up using promo code Andrew, ANDREW, my name, with your sign up, that's a promo code. Underdog Fantasy is willing to match up to $100 of your first deposit. So again, if you're interested in anything like that, be sure to go ahead and check that out. Use the code to help yourself out. It certainly does support me as a creator. And that'll be pretty much it. All right, so let's go ahead. Let me move some things around on my screen here. And let's go ahead and let's hop in here. Let's go. So really quickly, before we even kind of hop into the draft, I want to show a couple of things really quickly. Besides this draft here, which we're going to participate in, it's only a $5 entry, which is a lot easier to swallow than a $25 entry. I'll even be the first one to tell you. I still think that the gauntlet, there's a reason why it's there. The mitten is obviously the mini version, right? But if you can put together 5 teams of the mitten instead of 1 team of the gauntlet, why not? You get to go ahead and diversify your overall roster and maybe have, a team in which you're going to go committing on the Bengals and 49ers, and another team where you're committing on the Rams and the Titans. You just kind of diversify as much as possible so that maybe one of your teams can get to that next round and get you in a great position. Either way, another thing that I wanted to show you guys, the pick'em slips. Earlier today, they posted Deebo Samuel for week, what is this? This is I guess this is technically week 20 of the NFL season. So they posted a Deebo Samuel over under 1 receiving yard. Obviously, this is an automatic W. It's an automatic over. Just like last week's over under Stephon Diggs 1 receiving yard. Underdog wants you to win. you can go ahead, throw them into a overall pick'em slip with a $25 maximum. Like, for example, let's talk about Davante Adams on the over. If you go ahead, you can 3 times your money almost instantly, because we know Davante Adams is very capable of crossing this number. In fact, in 3 out of the last 4 games that he's played against this defense, actually, no, in 4 out of the last 5, I just want to give you guys some context as to how many receiving yards Adams has had since 2018 against this secondary, okay? 132, 43, which was an unfortunate 2019 performance. Either way, still had 7 catches, 1 touchdown, but 132, 43, 173, 132, 138. So overall in his career, Davante Adams, in 4 out of the last 5 games he's played against the San Francisco 49ers, he's gone over 130 receiving yards. 93 receiving yards, 93.5, going over 94 seems pretty plausible in my eyes. But again, you can go ahead. Oh, what the heck? It's right behind me. What am I doing? I gotta move myself a little bit so you guys have an idea as to what the heck that means. Okay, but it's just an easy way to get one automatic. All you pretty much need to do is successfully guess over under on one of these other stats, and you're in a great position. But either way, okay. So now that we've kind of thrown that, let's go ahead. Let's hop into a mitten draft here and kind of give you guys some context as to what the heck is going on. I think I should stay middle of the screen. I think it probably works best in this regard. Yeah, it was. Okay. So let's move myself over just a tad bit here. All right, so we're waiting for a couple people to join. For those of you who have an Underdog account, you've signed up and you want to participate, I'm in here. Obviously, you can join, play alongside me if you'd like. Either way, it's probably going to fill up, but we'll do a couple more of these. These are just live drafts open to the public. The main thing that I'm looking for, first and foremost, is which pick I'm being given. I think that's really going to determine where I'm going with this. Because obviously, I want to pick players that are going to succeed and try to advance. I have the number 1 pick. How about that? I mean, you just heard me talk about Davante Adams. You can bet your bottom dollar he's going to be on my roster. That is for sure. So obviously, if I have a player like Davante Adams, I most likely want to go ahead and try to grab other, Green Bay Packers. The likeliness of that happening, especially considering I pick at 1.01 and I don't pick for another, 12 selections, it makes it difficult to probably stack them up with an Aaron Rodgers, etc. But it is what it is. We're going to try to build the best possible team we can on the back of the players that we potentially have here available to us. Let's see. As much as I like Derrick Henry, I just really feel confident that the Green Bay Packers have the best chance of actually running the table here. So, Davante Adams makes it an automatic. So, either way, let's go ahead and see what's going on in the chat. What are your predictions for the rest of the way? I'm in 1 league and done. I'm in a 1 and done league. Got it. Barry, we talked about it earlier this week via Patreon. Hopefully that roster that we put together for you is, on par to continue to just stack W's there. We pretty much built it around who we thought was going to go to the Super Bowl, right? The team that we built for you was Mahomes, and then obviously the 2 running backs didn't play, Fournette and Clyde, but that's not a big deal because they eventually will. And then you have Evans, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, Gronk. There's Cooper Kupp, Davante Adams. It's such a stacked team there. Let's see here. Keeper league for next season. Thoughts on Najee and Akers? I can't keep Kelce and Taylor. Look, if you're keeping Najee Harris and Cam Akers going into this upcoming round, I think you're in a fantastic position. Cam Akers looked incredible yesterday. 17 carries, had himself a catch for 40 yards, could have had himself a second catch, make it, a big number there. But yeah, as of right now, damn, people are just flying for quarterbacks. I have yet to draft. This is my first draft for the second week of the playoffs. Obviously, I drafted teams for the beginning of the playoffs, even far before. But man, the quarterback position flies off the board, and I'm not really surprised considering, especially when Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen, they're both throwing 4-5 touchdowns, 300 plus yards a pop. Those kind of points, that's really going to determine your success. So I'm not really actually surprised that the quarterback position is flying off the board. I still think I can find success with Tom Brady, Joe Burrow, Matthew Stafford, and hopefully that comes back down to me. I'm assuming it will. So yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. What's your favorite underdog team to take the Super Bowl? Top seeds don't always make it, do they? as of late, since 2013, there's only been one team in the NFL that has not been a number 1 or 2 seed that has made it to the Super Bowl, and that was last year's Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Otherwise, every other season since 2013, it's been a number 1 or 2 seed. So chances are, I mean, based on what we've seen, the history of the NFL, it's going to be tough. Ooh, okay, Aaron Jones coming off the board. I really would have liked to have Aaron Jones come back to me, but, you know, we all can't have what we want. It's not a big deal. All right, Brady's still on the board. Who else is still on this board here? We got Gronk, we have Chase, we have A.J. Brown, Gronk, Debo. My goodness. We have a lot of options, but we don't have a lot of time. I'm trying to think as to what the heck I want to do. I think I want to stack. I think I want to go, yeah, this is what I'm going to try to do. I'm going to go a little bit crazy. Wait, what the heck? Did my draft actually go? It did. Okay, cool. I'm going to just full in on Bengals. Even though I don't specifically think they can win this game, there's a chance. And if they could do it, they could pull it off, by all means. Let's see it happen. So what I'll do is I'll take my stack here. I'll take my Chase Burrow stack along with my Adams. Adams was just the automatic because he's too good a value there in the first overall pick. So we'll wait. We'll see what happens. We'll come back down. I wish Cooper Kupp was still there. That would have been greater. I mean, that would have been the best case scenario there. I mean, I could have gone like Gronk with Brady, but to be honest, I need to have Evans in that combination. So right now, what I'm probably looking to do when this draft comes back to me, I'm assuming Mixon will be gone, which I'm not even too bugged out about. I think the running back position is probably going to get torched on its way back. Not a big deal. Cam Akers is hiding all the way down there. You know, I'll go ahead and I'll sneakily grab that. Elijah Mitchell's still there. Not a bad selection. I know obviously these guys probably not making it to the next round most likely, but you never know sometimes, man. I thought there were going to be a lot of upsets last week. Maybe it'll be this week. You never know. Let's see what we got here. What's coming off the board? Okay, that guy's going to auto pick. It takes him Tom Brady because he's the highest projected player going forward. I mean, that's honestly not a bad thing for the auto pick to take you the quarterback when you don't have one yet, especially considering the quarterback position's kind of fallen off at this point. So we look at Stafford and Tannehill as the last two remaining quarterbacks. I could grab another one, but I don't know if I need it. I mean, this is best ball, right? So your best players are really just going to play at that point. And I don't even know. I think maybe it's just a flat roster. Maybe it's not even best ball anymore because there's not as many players to select from. Let me see how many picks are there? 5 picks away, but how many rounds are there overall? There's 10 rounds. Yeah, this is best ball then in that case. Let's see. What do we got going here? T. Higgins came off the board after Joe. I mean, there goes my Bengals. There goes my hero. Okay, let's see here. Gronk's still on the board. Not bad. I probably want to start stacking. There goes Gronk as soon as I mention him. I swear. You know what the thing is, which sucks? George Kittle never has great games in the NFL playoffs. Even going back to their Super Bowl run, George Kittle never plays well in the playoffs. He's pretty much just completely ignored. And Kyle Shanahan, just for some reason, doesn't want to get him involved. I am thinking Lazard. That is my initial thought here. But it's got to land in my lap. A.J. Dillon, man, could I have not gotten lucky enough for Lazard and Dillon to land in my lap? Because that would have been it. That's what I was really looking for. I'm going to take Lazard here, but man, I needed A.J. Dillon to land in my lap. That would have been perfect. All right, so let's see here. Of the available options, I really don't like taking running backs from Kansas City because I don't know what the heck's going on. I don't know if Clyde Edwards is coming back or when he's coming back. Lazard's probably the best option there. I'm going to wait till the clock gets to 4 seconds so I can think about my next selection. So here we go. We'll snag that real quick. Gabriel Davis, not bad, but I don't know if I want to stack a third team, but I'm going to have to. But I need to go ahead and address running back before the time, before it comes back and they're all gone. I need to get, it's kind of tough. I'm thinking, though Elijah Mitchell probably plays well this week, I need to take a running back that's most likely going to help me throughout the rest of the way. I'm going to just take Akers there. He out-carried Sony Michel yesterday. Honestly, looks better overall in terms of speed. He'll continue to get more and more of a role in that offense. I mean, the Rams, as of the last couple of weeks, I think they're throwing the ball only 52% of the time. They are really becoming a run-first team. I mean, Stafford last night only threw the ball 17 times, and it was a game in which they were ahead and they were killing clock. Jerick McKinnon actually is not a bad pick, but again, that's the issue. You can take Jerick McKinnon from the Kansas City Chiefs, but how do you know if these other guys aren't about to show up and steal some value there? All right, so where does this draft take us here? Again, we've only made 5 selections. I got 5 more to make. So it's going to be, like, oh, what the heck? Refresh, please. Did my internet go out? No? Okay, cool. We're chilling. It's really a matter of I don't mind taking another quarterback. I really don't. I need another running back for sure, because if, push comes to shove and these guys unfortunately aren't able to pull it, we're going to be in trouble, but we'll see. So let's see here. Mitchell's still going to be on. I think Mitchell's probably not going to come off, because I don't think anybody really believes the 49ers are going to be able to win that, especially with Nick Bosa out and a little bit of an injury to Jimmy Garoppolo's shoulder and the middle linebacker for the 49ers. I forget his last name. Goodness gracious. Why is it eluding me at this moment? Let's see. Julio Jones, Mecole Hardman, Mini Christmas. Byron Pringle already got taken, right? I'm assuming he did, yeah, because Byron Pringle had a monster 2-touchdown game. Not as automatic, but still, monster game nonetheless. George Kittle probably will be ignored. I don't plan on taking him. I know George Kittle's a great overall tight end, but again, I just don't trust the offense to get him involved enough. I don't mind Tyler Boyd. That's probably what I'm looking to go after here, silently. And that's pretty much what I'm going to do. Gabriel Davis comes off the board right before that. Not a big deal. So we're going to go Tyler Boyd, but I'm looking elsewhere. Probably need to go. Do I want to lock down both Rams running backs? I don't know how technically smart that is. But okay, for sure, we're going to grab Tyler Boyd. Now, my follow-up idea is to maybe go ahead. Do I want to stack another wide receiver here for the Green Bay Packers? I don't know how smart that technically is in terms of just grabbing the best overall. I think I'm going to go another running back. I think I'm just going to invest in Elijah Mitchell. Hope he can give me a good overall performance here, just so where I can survive. That's where I'll probably go. And what I mean by survive is the way that this draft typically works is you have to advance to the next round. Like, your team has to play well enough to get to that next round. And if it doesn't, then you're torched, right? Luckily, every player plays this week, so I'm not too worried about it. But at least I might be able to get either Akers or Elijah Mitchell. One of them falls in the end zone, gets me about 13 points. I'm pretty happy with that. Now, where am I looking outside of this? So far, my quarterback and my receivers, Bengals and Green Bay Packers. Obviously, I probably need to go ahead, risk it here. I mean, chances are by the time this draft comes back to me, I'm not going to see the quarterback of Matthew Stafford. Yeah, he's gone, actually. Where the heck did I go? Oh, it was taken actually way before my pick. That's what happens when I'm looking at the chat. Kevs, I appreciate that. Thank you. Stay hydrated. All right, will do. There's a lot of questionable running backs in the playoffs. Not many studs like Henry and Taylor. Yeah, I mean, of course not. That's the whole thing. That's why you have to prioritize wide receiver like I did in my first 2 picks here. I mean, look, Keyshawn Vaughn, Giovanni Bernard this late in the draft, actually a good strategy. Not a bad one, especially considering the chances are they're going to be passing the whole time. You know what I'll probably do next draft? I'll probably end up grabbing Giovanni Bernard late as my only running back. It obviously depends on where I'm selecting from, but Giovanni Bernard, the last time they played against the Rams, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers specifically, earlier this year, Giovanni Bernard had like 9 catches for 90 yards and a touchdown in that game, if you guys remember. So there's always a possibility that the Rams run-stop defense, they continue to play as well as they have, and then they clog it up and force Brady, if in fact Fournette doesn't play, to go ahead and just keep dumping it off to Gio Bernard. All right, let's look at this. Quarterbacks are all gone. Running backs looks like, I'm not going after any of these guys. No. Running back is pretty much gone. So it's pretty much just a wide receiver game here as to what I'm going with. I don't trust Uzama. I know he played well, but it's mainly because, let's go ahead. We're going to grab Brandon Ayuk at that point, I guess. I don't want to grab Ayuk, but I think I have to. I think I even have to just go another wide receiver here and finish my draft. Uzama played well, but again, it was against the Las Vegas Raiders, who are horrible at stopping tight ends, while on the other side of the spectrum, Tennessee's really good at stopping opposing tight ends. Do I want to test any of these other guys? These guys are so buggy. All right, we're just going to give Cole Beasley the shot here. Grab all wide receivers at the end of this because really there's nothing left. Interesting turn of events here. That's my first one so far. I didn't know what the ADP is going to look like. I didn't know who was going to come off the board first, but we'll take it. We're going to learn from this, go to the next draft, see what we can go ahead and put together here. Keyshawn Vaughn is a hidden gem. I mean, look, at this point, I think he's okay, but I think Bernard's probably the better option if Fournette doesn't end up playing because we know how much Brady loves to throw the ball out of the backfield. Okay, so this draft's done, right? Do I have another selection? I got one more here. I mean, really, it's going to be scraping the bottom of the barrel. I don't think there's another running back that could technically play. I mean, Samaje Perine's a backup. Chris Evans is a backup. Dontrell Hilliard could catch some passes, but I mean, Derrick Henry will probably be flanked by Donta Foreman in that regard. Is there anybody else that's worth anything here? Kyle Juszczyk. I mean, I doubt Kyle Juszczyk's getting much passes, but you know, you never know. He might end up sneaking a touchdown, but ultimately, I think I just need to stack up on what I can do with the receiver because for this, right, one quarterback plays. I think it's one running back, two wide receivers, and a flex, if I'm not mistaken. I can check right after this. Is my selection almost coming up? Let me check the rules here. So if we go to rules and then we go to where is roster makeup? One quarterback, one running back, two wide receivers, and a flex. So theoretically, right, this week, if in fact Burrow plays well, I mean, Burrow, no matter what he does, he's going to be my starting quarterback, right? As of the running backs, it's between Mitchell and Akers. Whoever performs better will get that spot. Adams and Chase should be my starting wide receivers. And then I have a 1 in 4 shot of one of these wide receivers producing well enough in a half PPR scoring format to give me enough value in my flex position. I'll take that. Even if I get lucky enough, maybe Akers and Mitchell both perform well. One of those can play in my flex spot. So I'm not in a bad position here. It's just really reliant on the idea that Mr. Joe Burrow, Tyler Boyd, Jamar Chase can get the job done. Because those guys I spent a pretty high draft capital on, respectively. Isaiah McKenzie, not a bad option. I think he had like 5 touches for 70 yards the other day. Cameron Brake steal a touchdown, but that's not the greatest high upside. Anthony Firkser, not bad, I guess. Tunyon, Jackson, Jones. I mean, everything here is pretty much bottom of the barrel. So I'll probably just grab... What is Anthony I mean, if Firkser... Nah, he's not going to... I mean, maybe he scores a touchdown, but I'll just go for the high upside play. All right. So that was that draft. That one's finished. Okay, that's the first mitten draft that we've completed today. So I remember whoever took OBJ won. Perhaps they did. I mean, look, OBJ played well last night, but it's a matter of, whether or not the Rams can get to that next round, certainly. But again, I think a lot of this has to do with not even just where, it has to do with where you're selecting, just like every draft does, right? Where you're selecting certainly does matter because you have to anticipate where the heck the draft's going to go and when you should be drafting players. But now that we've gone ahead and done one of these, I'm hopping it back into another one. Let's see how this thing, let's see how this goes. We need one more person to fill this in and we'll be in a good spot here. But yeah, okay. So now that I'm probably, if I get first pick again, that'll be certainly really lucky. But I doubt that's going to be the case. If it does happen, I'm probably not going Davante Adams because I just saw how that draft went about. All right, I'm the 5th pick. Okay, so I'm a little bit later down in the first round. At this point, right, I can probably take, depending on where the heck happen. I mean, I don't even know what's going to happen. I think Derrick Henry could very easily be my 2nd round pick. I think he can. That's going to be the huge question mark at that point. But what I'm looking for is either, I'm probably trying to grab Cooper Kupp if it could land in my lap. So I don't mind going Cooper Kupp, Derrick Henry. that will give me the opportunity to grab Matthew Stafford and Ryan Tannehill way later, right? Because like we just saw in this last draft, both those quarterbacks were the last two available. So that does give me some, a little bit of a chance there to be able to grab them late, stack those two, have the quarterback, wide receiver, quarterback, running back respective combos, depending on how the draft goes. But we'll see how this goes. Hey, Andrew, I was second pick in the draft, went heavy on Bills. You helped me win my first championship this year. Cheers. No problem, Noel. Glad I could help. All right, let's see. What is the first pick going to do here? Ray says, I got Cup, Debo, Chase in my draft. Okay. I mean, that looks like a pretty stacked team to me for this week. You just got to hope that all three of them win, huh? All right, so Devontae Adams, Josh Allen, this pretty much looks identical to what we just did last draft. Aaron Rodgers, this guy probably goes Mahomes, which if he does, I'm not going to be very much so surprised. Which at that point, I'm trying to think here. Would it actually be smart to take Mahomes if I can guarantee Kelce or Tyreek Hill in the following round and just try to go stacking on Chiefs? Okay, Kelce just got grabbed. Okay, so we're just going to commit to the idea of going Cooper Kupp here. And then I'm going to try to grab Derrick Henry in the second round, just right off this turn. Now, if this gentleman wants to go ahead and take Derrick Henry, by all means, he can go. He took the stack, which I anticipated, right? As soon as this guy took Kelce, I was like, there is no way that I'm going to be able to take Mahomes and leave with Tyreek Hill as well, which at that point, I'm just, it's just a complete dumpster fire. I'll take Derrick Henry in my second round. So, running back, wide receivers, great. Top tier at both their positions, fantastic. Now it's a matter of let's build around these guys. Try to grab more LA Rams. Try to grab one of these two teams' respective quarterbacks and just stack Rams and Titans, and let's hope that they can pull it out at this point. Let's see what is going on in the chat. Barry says, last spoke, it was a TD pool. Now it's a one and done league. Do you see Tampa Bay over the Rams now? It depends purely on the injuries of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I know that their starting right tackle, Tristan Wirfs, he went down with an injury. That is a huge, potential. I guess that could really be a glaring problem for them, especially with Von Miller, Aaron Donald tearing up that offensive line. It could be tough. Also, their center, I know he came back into the game. He was a little bit banged up. They still don't have Fournette. Depending on how those injuries look for that team, specifically via offensive line, I guess we'll have to keep an eye on it and see where it goes later this week. But for right now, I'm still thinking that, though I want the Rams to win, I think that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers could very easily beat us even, well, actually not even with the injuries. I think if they're fully healthy, they could beat us. All right, so Devin Singletary so Devin Singletary should go early. I don't even object to that idea. I think he should go early, especially if you're able to grab Josh Allen early enough. Is it the same guy that grabbed him? No. Okay. Oh no, it is. Wait, this guy has. Let me see here. Yeah, look, this is perfect build, right? If you get Allen, you should grab Singletary, right? Because they're literally like one of the two is going to score that rushing touchdown every single week. And if you can just bottle that up, you're in a pretty good spot there. Okay, so let's see here. What are we doing here? I need to grab my quarterback of choice. Stafford's probably still there. I will go ahead and grab him. I'm going to take A.J. Brown as well and just continue with this stack. So we'll take A.J.B. here. I know this guy has already grabbed a quarterback right in front of me. He took Mahomes last time, so I don't anticipate him to dig into the potential work of grabbing, my respective quarterback of choice, which is Matthew Stafford. How many people have actually taken a quarterback? I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games, and so everybody's grabbed at least one quarterback. I might be able to wait and get greedy with it, which I think I'm gonna do. If I grab Fournette here, it's kind of risky. So what we'll go ahead and do, I'm gonna just grab Gronk and just steal it. Yeah, we're gonna grab Gronk and just steal it right there. I'm gonna get greedy, guys. You know what I probably should have done? I should have just went OBJ. Instead of just being greedy and going after Gronk, I should have just taken OBJ. That's on me. Yeah. I didn't even look. The time is so fast. I didn't even look right after me, OBJ, which I actually should have done. That's my bad. Completely. I flustered and I threw that into the dumpster because I was looking at quarterback too long. But it's okay. We live, we learn. All right, let's see what's going on with the rest of this sucker. Where's running backs at? I mean, obviously Fournette's still on the board, mainly because we don't even know if he's going to play. But Akers is still down there. I know Gio Bernard is still down there. I mean, that's just the biggest question mark. If you grab a Fournette, you have to grab a Gio Bernard. Like, you almost have to in that regard. Joe Burrow just went off the board. That's fine. We'll let him get taken because the quarterback that I want is coming back down the line for me. I don't even have to worry about taking him. So this next selection is even not going to be a quarterback for me. It'll be the one subsequently after that. So at this point, I'm just looking to try to see what I can do here. I'm probably... Lazard gets taken. Do I want to grab Cam Akers and just try to roll the dice on that regard? Against Tampa Bay, it's going to be tough to run the ball. But you never know. Might be able to get away with something here. Would you keep in a PPR league Kupp or Najee Harris? Ooh, that's a great question. Damn, this guy took Stafford right in front of me. All right, that's tough, but it's okay. Just to be safe, could people draft 2 quarterbacks? Maybe they can. I'm just going to grab Tannehill anyway. I don't really care. Let him take whatever he wants. It's not going to really change my decision here. I think I'm still going running back. Would I keep Kupp or Najee Harris? I think depending on who plays quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers in the coming seasons, that is going to be a big difference maker, right? If they're going to go with Mason Rudolph, it's going to kill Najee Harris's value. But even with Big Ben playing as bad as he did this year, Najee Harris was still really great. In my opinion, the ability for Kupp to continue to pump out seasons like that, it's going to be hard. It really is going to be hard. So I'd probably say you want to keep the running back, but in a PPR, it is tough because of how great. All right, let's just snipe this real quick. Last second. Just how great Cooper Kupp was as of late. All right, so what the heck did we build here today? All right, so I have 2 Rams. I have 3 Tennessee Titans. And I have the extra Gronk, which should have been OBJ. That's a dropped ball by Andrew immediately. Damn. As soon as I took Gronk too, I was like, don't know if that was the greatest. But it's okay. So at this point, final selections for this team. Considering we've made 6, we need 4 more. Considering what we have, I'll probably try to grab. Let's see here. Gio Bernard is still left. If he's available, I'll grab him. If he's not, then I'm going all wide receivers. Because at this point, I have a better chance of one of my respective wide receivers filling in my flex spot than whatever's remaining at running back. So that's probably where I'll go. Even then, I mean, it's just a matter of whether or not Fournette's going to play. I think he should play. All right, let's grab a wide receiver first and foremost. Boyd is honestly, he's on a tear. Last 4 games consecutive with Burrow, scored a touchdown. So I'm pretty good with that idea. I don't know if I want to grab Higbee or any of that kind of stuff and keep stacking Rams. I don't want Julio Jones. I know that for sure. So let's just grab Tyler Boyd, try to bolster up my flex position potentially here. I know I don't want Higbee. I know I don't want Van Jefferson. Those are really sketchy plays, technically, because they're not guaranteed successful, plays. Grabbing Jimmy G, I think that's a waste of a grab, to be honest. But this guy's been grabbing a lot of 49ers, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, look at he's just got a pure full stack. Pure. He has not dabbled in any other team. He's a pure stack, which I respect. All right, like I was saying, I'm going to grab Gio Bernard. I'm just going to do it. All right, so I got probably what? 1 more selection left? Oh, actually 2 more selections. All right, not bad. So I'll just go double wide receiver here. We'll see what happens. He has a pure stack. Where was he? Let me look at this full team. So he has both quarterbacks, both supposed starting running backs, and then he has Tyreek Hill, Debo, Pringle, and Mecole Hardman. Makes sense. Honestly does. He'll probably be able to get Ayuk a little bit later, unless Ayuk just went off the board and I didn't see it. Maybe he did. All right, let's see here. Where are we at? Beasley. All right, I got to just get lucky on a good pick here at wide receiver to fill in my flex because really it's the bare bones. Uzama's probably, I mean, goodness gracious. It got so thin so quick. Uzama got taken. I mean, at this point, we're hoping. I mean, Demarcus Robinson just got taken. All right, so DeGuara is not bad, but the 49ers are pretty good at stopping tight ends. Ertz is out. Yep. Cyril Grayson disappeared. What did he even do? Did he even stack a single? That was way... Okay, so I guess he probably is not going to do much. All right, we're going to go for the lucky plays at this point. We're just going to grab DeGuara, hope he scores a touchdown with Aaron Rodgers, and just pray. All right, and then he went Juan Jennings. I mean, look, this guy's just... I'm letting him just stack it at this point. Like, I know what he's looking for. I don't want any of these players, to be totally honest. There isn't really much left. He's probably going to have to go elsewhere because I don't know if these potential teams even have anybody left. Who else could he possibly grab on the Chiefs? He went Keyshawn Vaughn. Okay, that makes sense. All right, so final pick. Of what's remaining, I mean, do I really? No, I don't want that. I mean, I really don't want that. Amari Rodgers, no. Robert Tonyan's tore his ACL. That's horrible. I mean, there's just nothing. All right. We'll grab this, and we'll just hope it maybe hits. All right, another Ram wide receiver, done. Interesting. As much as, man, I should have went OBJ. That one's going to kill me, but it's okay. I'll be fine. Got a donation from Dead Pulse. Says, PPR Dynasty Superflex. Would you rather have Cook and Madison or Akers and a 2.01 in a 12-team league? PPR Dynasty. Would I rather have Cook and Madison or Akers outright? That's actually a really interesting question because, look, okay, so at this point, purely, I'm thinking, because, okay, look, so with Henderson being in that backfield and Sony Michel right now, Akers is still going to be the starter outright, and he'll probably get all the carries. That's what I'm assuming. But, like, that's for the 2022 beginning of the season. But with that said, it's purely a matter of what the heck happens to the Vikings this upcoming season. Who do they sign as a head coach? Do they get rid of Kirk Cousins? And where the team goes? Because if they're grabbing head coaches, offensive coordinators that aren't as run-heavy minded as the former, Vikings offensive coordinators were, the Kubiak father-son duo, then it could be a little bit tricky. For right now, I mean, I have legitimately one dynasty league. I don't even pay attention to much dynasty. But if I was to try to give you the best idea for the upcoming seasons, who's most likely to find more success, Cook or Akers? I mean, how many years has Cook been in the league? 4? He's probably got another 3 years in him. 3 more good years. Again, the amount of injuries this man sustains, I'd probably go Akers, to be honest. And I'll take that 2.01. Maybe a crazy idea, but I don't know what the rest of your team looks like, but that's what I'm thinking right now. All right, let's see this again. I'm going to do another one. The only question is, what the heck are we doing this time? I got to commit. I got to pay attention a little bit more, okay? We got to lock this in. Okay, this thing fills up quick. Again, for those of you guys who just hopped in recently, we're at underdogfantasy.com. Pretty much drafting NFL playoff teams. I just got the first overall pick once again, interestingly enough. Either way, if you want to sign up today via Underdog Fantasy, there's a link down in the description of the video. And when you do click on that link, if you go check it out, it's something that interests you and you want to sign up, you can use promo code Andrew, ANDREW today. And Underdog Fantasy is willing to match up to $100 of your first deposit. On top of that idea, this week, they have a Deebo Samuel pick'em slip of over under 1 receiving yard. So pretty much you get an automatic there. If you just go ahead and put another, potential pick'em next to it and accurately predict it with a $25 maximum bet, you can 3 times your money immediately. There's a reason why they're offering this Deebo Samuel pick'em slip. It's because they want you to win. So check it out today. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. All right. Do I go Devontae Adams again? That's the real question. Or do I just take a quarterback at this point and just stack Buffalo Bills? I really want to grab Devontae Adams. I know for a fact I just grabbed. Okay, we're going to diversify a little bit. I'm just going to go ahead. Do I go Buffalo Bills at this point? Is that even smart? I have another team that's all Buffalo. Do I take? Yeah, I'm just going to take Josh Allen. Let's just test it, okay? Let's try one of these teams. Let's leave Devontae Adams up on the board. Whoever has that number 2 pick, maybe he's been blessed. Milwaukee's in the same draft as me again. This guy, let's see what he wants to do this time around, Mr. Milwaukee. Because last draft, he was fully on a different tangent. So let's see what he wants to build this time. I mean, it really depends on where you're picking, right? Let's see here. He went Cooper Kupp this time. Okay, he's going to try to build a Rams team. Or he's just going after. I mean, I'm actually surprised because typically at that 3rd pick, boom, quarterback are taken. You know, like Mahomes is gone. Or at least Aaron Rodgers is gone. But we'll see how this goes. At this point, based on what I've already selected, going Josh Allen number 1. I know he had 38 fantasy points this last Sunday. If he's able to just put up a good performance, maybe if somehow, some way, the Buffalo Bills go into Kansas City and win, you know, that'd be insane. But what I'm probably looking to try to get in return, which is very unlikely, is I'm looking for Stephon Diggs to come back to me. If he's not able to, then by all means, we're going to have to pivot and get our second team involved, which at that point, I'm looking for another receiving option. But again, I do have back-to-back picks in, you know, the 2nd/3rd. So I get to dictate where the rest of the draft begins to pivot towards. Tom Brady taken off the board. Tyreek Hill. Who is Tom Brady going to? Yeah, he's going to stack Brady and Evans. That's perfectly fine. That seems really normal at this point. That guy grabs Kelsey and Hill. That's fine. He's pretty much stacking Kansas City Chiefs. Okay, so this guy's already taken a quarterback. That guy's taken a wide receiver. Both those guys have taken wide receivers. So interestingly enough, maybe, I mean, if the draft wants to bring me Derrick Henry, I mean, I would actually consider it. Now, with that being said, the Buffalo Bills, Tennessee Titans are on the same side of the bracket, so it does make it tough to invest in both of those respective offenses. But let's see how this goes, shall we? I think I know what I'm doing. Stephon Diggs, damn. I for a second there, I knew what I wanted to do until Stephon Diggs. I mean, I know what I want to do. It's take Devin Singletary here, but I don't think I do that anymore. I think I begin to pivot just a little bit in that regard. Let me think here. If I take Derrick Henry and I go A.J. Brown, is that even smart? No. I'm going to take my Devin Singletary that I wanted. I'm leaving Derrick Henry up. If somebody else wants him, they can have him. Do I want to take 49ers? I'm going to man. This is a very weird outcome here. Because I don't want to dabble into Tampa Bay. Let's take 49ers. I mean, look, the uncertainty of me really shouldn't come as a surprise, considering I don't know what the heck is going on with some of these teams. Some people are just drafting some very interesting rosters, to say the very least. Derrick Henry comes off the board as expected. I mean, there's a reason why I wanted to grab Singletary, because I knew he was never going to come back to me. This is typically the 3rd round running back, kind of spree that goes about. This guy has Henry, Kupp. Okay, so he's completely just gone off the reservation. He's just going to grab best available player, which honestly isn't that bad of an idea. Because at this point, I'm almost kind of about to pivot into that. I know what I want to do rest of the way here in terms of receiving options. It's just a matter of, does it end up coming back and helping me? Mixon taken off the board. All right, so what do I want to grab? So I want this for sure. Undoubtedly, I want that. I also probably want to grab this. Let's see. Okay, so then at that point, what else am I looking for? Probably this. I need this. Okay, if I can grab these players that are above my head, I think I'll be in a pretty decent position. Brett says, I'm doing the mitten right now and had the first pick. I took Adams and Burrow and Chase dropping to me. Let's go Bengals. I mean, Brett, you know what's funny? The first draft that I did today, I did the exact same thing. I took Adams, I took Burrow, and I took Chase. I don't know if you were here for that, but yeah, I exactly had the exact. I mean, I don't know how that happened to match up identically, but yeah, that's what I did first and foremost. Let's see, Gronk taken off the board, Elijah Mitchell taken off the board, OBJ, Fournette. Okay, makes sense. I mean, these are really the best players. So, man, that third round running back run going into the fourth, really interesting. T. Higgins, okay, taken off the board. A.J. Brown being left is kind of interesting. Thank you. I was about to say, I was like, I'm pretty sure A.J. Brown should be coming off here, but we'll see. Gotta look something up here. I'm on the clock. Cool. So, did Dawson Knox just get taken in front of me? That's so unfortunate, but hey, it is what it is. We'll figure it out. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to commit to the teams that I've pretty much grabbed. I'll go Kittle. I'll go Gabriel Davis. And we'll keep it moving. Fully committing to the idea of 49er Buffalo stack, which may not be the greatest idea, but hey, we're gonna give it our best at this point. Let's see here. A.J. Dillon coming off the board. Makes sense, especially if you have Aaron Jones. I mean, I'm sorry. Dude, this guy has the perfect squad. How was he able to get Aaron? Wow. Okay. That's a gnarly looking team. I don't know how it landed in his lap to where he could get all four. I mean, he needs Lazard, MVS, Randall Cobb, and he's fine. He's good to go rest of the way. What does this guy have? He has 3 Bengals and Patrick Mahomes. Interesting. What does this gentleman have? He has, okay, Tampa Bay and Kansas City stack. Pretty much calling the repeat here. What does this gentleman have? Tom Brady, Elijah Mitchell. Okay, very interesting teams. Again, you can go any way about this and technically win. Now, I don't know if going 49ers is helping me win. I would probably contest the idea. I'd probably say that it's probably not helping me that much. Because it would require a blessing of sorts for that to help pan out in my direction, but you never know. All right, what is available at running back? So I'm probably going to go ahead and grab, I mean, Darrell Williams should be a decent play at this point. But again, I don't even know. I think McKinnon's just better, right? Is McKinnon gone? Yeah, McKinnon was taken. What round was he taking it? Does it say? No, it doesn't say, but it says RB11. Okay, cool. All right, so at that point, at running back, it's just not even worth anything. Giovanni Bernard probably, but I don't know if I want to grab that now rather than receiving option. So we'll go Boyd for the 3rd draft in a row. We will look towards Sanders. No, Higby, no. I don't really like the idea of Julio either. Man, I don't know if I like any of these options. Actually, they're just so rough. I'm going to grab Giovanni Bernard and just hope that Fournette doesn't play. Or if he does, it's at a limited capacity and Gio is just cleaning up all the receiving work. That's what I just have to hope for. Because I honestly think that my receiving options, like Debo and Gabriel Davis, probably end up being my starters. And it's just a toss-up whether or not George Kittle can play well against the Packers, which, I mean, in his career he has, but in the playoffs he's just been so bad. How is this score total points? Okay, so yeah, it's a half PPR scoring format. I can actually show you the rules. So in terms of scoring, let's see here. Let's bring this up. So scoring. Okay, okay, this is actually not the technical. Okay, I'll just explain it to you. So the way this technically works is based on how your team does this week, you'll advance to the next round or not. So I'll show you after this. I'll show you one of my teams that I drafted this past week, and show you like I'm first place in my division in comparison to competing against everybody else in my respective league. So I advance and then compete against other people, advance, and then that pretty much just solidifies your placement. But I'll show you in a second here. All right, what do we got here? Okay. Vaughn taken. That makes sense. At wide receiver, I mean, at this point, I'm really just hoping that Beasley, Van Jefferson, Higbee, Cobb, I mean, I pretty much have to jump off of the bandwagon of grabbing technically the 49er players and just full commit to grabbing the best available. Quarterbacks are all taken after that last pick. Tyler Johnson, that's fine. Milwaukee, what does he have? So he actually went with the full stack. Damn, how did he? AJ Brown went so late and he was able to get him when? Hold up. He got him at pick 22. Interesting. I mean, these guys are, listen, I'm playing against some sharps out here. Actual. All right, so at this point, I have Gabriel Davis already. Cole Beasley just got taken. We will just grab, let me see here. What do I want to actually take? I'm going to grab Randall Cobb just off of the potential. And then we'll grab Higbee off of the hope that maybe a touchdown falls into his lap this weekend. Okay, that's pretty much it. I don't have another pick until the 10th. I'll probably end up grabbing, has to be a wide receiver option again. Just has to be at this point. Or if Jimmy G wants to make it all the way down, I'll just spend it on that. While we're here, let me go ahead. Let me go to drafts. Let me open up a new tab so I can show you last week's teams. Best ball. Okay, so where are we at? So I had 3 teams last week in the gauntlet, right? So the best team that I had was in last week's video where so really quickly, just to pull it back. So I advanced because of this team. Josh Allen for 38, Devin Singletary 22, Josh Jacobs 14 as my flex, Schultz and Dawson Knox as my receivers, right? So boom, that helped me advance. Now, these other teams that did not advance, only one person advanced from this. Now, I don't know if this is going to be the case because there's a first, second, third. I don't know how. I'm assuming there's going to be, based on this upcoming week's performances, then another advancement, etc., but we'll see. I'm 6 picks away here. Let's close this. I mean, a lot of people are full committing onto stacks. For some reason, I can't do it. I don't know what it is. I always pivot away. But it is what it is. I'm just going to keep pivoting because I like my Tyler Boyds for some reason as always my 4th wide receiver. Let's see. So chances are if Jimmy G comes back, I'll take it. If he doesn't, I'm most likely just grabbing Cameron Brate or something because there's not going to be much left to grab really at this point. Juan Jennings, Cyril Grayson, CJ Uzama, as expected, flying off the board. Why is Arizona on the list? It's there because in their settings, this is the exact same, like probably script for NFL playoffs. So all NFL playoff teams are here. But yeah, this is for weeks, the semifinals and on. So the last 3 weeks of the playoffs. Okay. Let me see some of these teams. So this guy went Burrow, Tannehill as his quarterbacks. And then he has a bunch of Tampa Bay and literally just exclusive Tampa Bay and Chiefs. Makes sense. Everybody has the exclusivity, man. I am the guy that is ruining drafts. Straight up exclusive, only Buffalo, only Green Bay. Makes sense. Probably is the better way of going about this. Because if you could predict it correctly, it's better than grabbing a player from 4 different damn teams. Like I don't know why I've done this. I've done it to myself. I'm okay with this. Hopefully you can learn from my mistakes. And when you go to draft a team, it looks a little bit like these other ones where you're just purely committing to 2 different teams. And you're just full sending it. That was my initial thought until one of my players as soon as Diggs went, I was off the scene. We'll go ahead. We'll grab McKenzie here, and we'll hope for the best. Okay. So anyway, if anybody's got any questions in the chat, please let me know. I think that's pretty much it for today. I'm just going to wait. If you got questions, let me know in the chat. And that should be it. I mean, it's a very interesting concept, to say the very least. Again, if you're interested in signing up, having better drafts than I just did, you can go ahead and check it out via Underdog Fantasy. There's a link down in the description of the video. If you use promo code Andrew today when you sign up, Underdog Fantasy is willing to match up to $100 of your first deposit. So what that means, it's a deposit match. You go ahead and deposit 40, they'll match it with 40. You can go ahead, draft a couple of those teams for the respective, for the respective mitten, maybe the gauntlet if you're, looking to go high roller in that regard. If you're looking for the pick'em slips, again, like I mentioned earlier, where the heck is that graphic I threw up? Where did my graphic go? Maybe I'll go grab another one. So again, for the pick'em slips this week, there's a Deebo Samuel over under 1 receiving yard. I'll throw it up right here underneath me. They literally want you to win. So if you compare this with another over under, let's say for example, what I would do technically, if you were interested, go $25 deposit, they'll match $25. You can take half of that and put it all in on Deebo Samuel, and as long as you get one more other potential over-under selection correct, like I talked about earlier, then you can 3 times your overall money, take the 25, turn it to 75. Then you'll have the other 25 to use potentially on some drafts that you're interested in. You can check that out today via Underdog Fantasy. I appreciate you guys watching today, taking time out of your day to, of course, support the channel in any way you guys possibly do. No questions came in. I appreciate you guys being here for the last hour or so. I'm gonna go ahead and sign off, and probably I'll be back at another time later this week. A couple impromptu drafts here and there, but yeah, I appreciate you guys, and until next time, I'll see you guys. Peace.